All right.
I feel like we should be like, maybe we should just come in from off stage. Just kidding. Okay.
Wait, I have a funny story about that, but go ahead and tell me first. Or no,
Do you want to tell it to Jesse first?
I don't, because he knows the story.
Jesse?
Okay.
You don't have to hear the story again.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Naomi.
And I'm Lisa.
Welcome to Songs from the Sticks. Is that all we're doing?
I think.
Because then we did a little.
Today we're.
But I think we did that.
Yeah, we did that. I think we're okay.
We'll just do this one more time.
Okay.
Jesse, you're really going to have to stitch this quilt together.
Welcome to Songs from the Sticks. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Naomi. Join us as we sit down with indie Canadian musicians to discuss things like
The importance of community, small town music scenes, and creative sustainability.
We were never in it for the fame. Won't be the next big thing or a household name. In a small pond, couple big fish just wanna hear songs from the sticks.
All right. So we're
So-
sitting down here with Matt. Oh, down here. Why did I say that?
down
Okay.
here in the
It's fine.
basement.
We're in the cellar. Okay. We are sitting down today with Matt Stanyer, local singer-songwriter.
Belting diva of the North. Elf Prince. Oh no, I ruined it. You did a good job and I wrecked it. Okay, can you do one more note? I'll shut up.
That's great. That's great.
You had to get it out.
And because we're in the same frame, I have to like...
You have to be on...
Shut it, Larissa!
Yeah. Okay. All right. Today we're sitting down with Matt Stanyer, local singer-songwriter.
True story. Jesse will just cut it. He'll just cut it right there.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's going to be the choppiest.
Perfect.
All right.
Just leave it in.
Let's just dig in. We'll just
Get it.
get in there.
Matt, where did you come from?
Where did I come from? Well, I was born in Kimberley, BC. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Plot
then,
twist already.
Yeah, plot twist. And then my family moved up here to Chetwynd when I was
Chetwynd.
3.
And then you were in Chetwynd for most
I
of...
was in Chetwynd for a while. Most of my life.
Yeah.
And then moved around, went to Victoria for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and moved back to Kimberley for a while.
Mm.
Came back to Chetwynd, and then ended up in Taylor.
Yeah. So what's the thing that's like kept you in the north, whether it's Chetwynd or Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
What's the pull? I know, like, I've tried to move away from
Family
here.
and relationships and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And you travel different places and it's nice to see the world, but there's something special about the Peace region.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
And what was that besides maybe love interests? Because we know about it. If you know, you know. But besides that, what was the decision to move from Chetwynd after so long to Taylor?
Love interest for sure.
That's it. That's the only reason. She's everything.
100%, yeah. Yeah.
We won't tell her she's that important. She's upstairs listening.
Yeah.
Okay. Why you're here, why you stay here, and where was the first like local scene? Kimberly, you were like a little kid? Like when you started performing, where did you live?
Yeah.
Oh,
Where
in
was the
Chetwynd.
first? Chetwynd.
Yeah, so I started performing. Well, like, I grew up in church, so I guess really started just playing for youth group and then in Sunday services. And then we'd have like our monthly coffee houses at the library.
Sure.
And do stuff there all the time. And
Chetwynd.
yeah,
Bumping.
bustling music scene there.
Yeah. It is like, I mean, so many small towns in the Peace region and in northern BC. Maybe it's because we're so far north and it's dark and boring that we like come up with stuff to do. But I think,
yeah.
how many people live in Chetwynd? Like
I don't know.
a couple
maybe
thousand?
3,000,
Yeah.
4,000,
like,
something.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
that you could have like a couple venues to choose from. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not bad. So
All right.
at the time, yeah, we had a great like when I was growing up in church, it was like the youth group was like the cool place to hang out. Even like
Anybody who was anybody.
even the heathens would come out and hang out for youth group on Fridays.
They
So
were desperate.
Yeah.
The church was desperate. Trying to get those new fresh blood.
yeah. So
And you have musical parents, right? Your dad?
Sort of. My dad plays guitar. Yeah.
Mhm.
And a brother.
Yes, my
Also
brother. Both of my brothers play
Didn't know there was two
music
brothers.
too. Yeah, 2 brothers, and I have a sister as well. But my brother Caleb plays drums, and Josh plays guitar.
Mhm.
He shreds.
Shreds.
Yeah.
He doesn't just play, he shreds.
No, he's he's the shred king. Some would say.
Some would say.
Yeah.
Drink break.
And drink break.
I could read the sky just to see where you are.
All right.
Burps, anyone?
Burps.
No,
I'm
I'm good. I'm good. You're good.
I'm not. I'm always the
You're good.
burper.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Give me a second, okay?
Business, Lisa.
Business.
Business.
So community builders and like.
Are you shocked how we can put on our business faces?
It's amazing. Yeah.
So okay, so are there any like? Just give me. Just let me throw my papers around. Okay. Any like standout people that supported you in your early days, community builders or venues, specific venues that
Who was
you
running
kind of
the
started
scene in
out?
Chetwynd?
Yeah.
Who was running the scene? Well, in my scene in the youth group was our youth pastor, Aaron Kaufman. And he was a youth pastor, and he was also very musical, and he kind of all taught us how to play our instruments and
Yeah.
got us,
Mm-hmm.
good at what we're doing. So yeah, he was the guy driving the scene there growing up.
Mm-hmm.
He's moved away like for a while now.
Yeah.
15 years or something, but at the time, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he was the guy. And then there was we had a couple teachers from the school who were doing like the coffee houses and stuff.
Nice.
Brendan Conrad, he was still teaching in Soto, I think now. So, and he's still doing music and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, and every time I get to Chetwynd, we usually do a jam with him still. So
Prodigal. Elf Prince returns.
yeah. So.
They put the banner on the welcome to Chetwynd sign.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
So how do you support your community or like give back or, support young and up. I can't say up and coming. I need to drop that word. It's
How
not
do
even
you-
on here. Why
No,
am I
you're
bringing that up?
insisting on it.
Okay.
How do you foster community or give back?
I got this. Okay.
Next
All right.
generation. Now that you're old balls.
How do
Yeah.
you, okay. So, all right. Okay.
We're sharing the
I'm
frames.
good.
So I'm
I
like,
got this.
you're
Yeah.
serious, I'm serious.
Okay.
So serious.
Okay, so how do you foster community or give back to your community now that you've been playing music for a while?
Chetwynd or Taylor.
Yeah, or Taylor.
Or Fort St.
Fort
John.
St. John.
Well, yeah, fortunately.
Peace region.
Yeah, Peace Region.
I mean, I'd like to. I guess I've had this year playing with younger folks playing in my band and everything.
Yeah.
I would like to. I think eventually start like teaching guitar or something
Yeah.
because
You
I think
should.
that'd be a good way to
And there's a
give
need
back.
for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
So.
But I think it's also like, that question sometimes I think feels like we're like, so what do you
So, what do you
and
do?
what
Yeah,
are you
what do
doing
you
to give
do?
back? It's not
Yeah.
like you don't owe us an answer. But I think it's also just like when we have all like grown up in these small scenes and we can think of those people that helped foster it. It's like, oh, how are we doing that? But also I think just continuing to live here and play music in these communities and, you know, like, I don't know. I think anytime you show up at an open mic, it's, you're still contributing to the community. So it's not like, what have you done for us lately, Matt?
Yeah.
What are you doing for the next generation? Now that you're an elder. Just kidding. You're the youngest elder that ever lived.
Yeah, I'm not old yet, but I'm getting there. Yeah.
So part of Lisa and I's interest in songs from the sticks, talking to like musicians specifically, was that we're both like creative kind of gig working people that we just like scramble together a living and pretend to be adults. But
Yeah.
as a gig worker yourself living in this economy, how are you doing it? How are you sustaining yourself creatively? Do you have other side quests, making money or not? Or, you know, like
Like, what do I do when I'm
what's
not
the
doing
point?
music?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
how do you keep the lights on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I'm looking for work, I guess. So, because we're, you know, gigs in the wintertime, it's just, you know.
But you're like a jack of all trades in many musical capacities. Like,
I've done
the interest and experience in like engineering and film and, you know, like
yeah, I mean,
audio.
I've produced tracks before and done mixing and that sort of thing.
You've got a library of licks.
I have a library of licks, yeah.
You bragged about it earlier.
Noting that you're going to do the mixing for the music video portions of our show, including your own video. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be mixing this.
Yeah.
So you have to trade with your partner. Let her mix yours and vice versa.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see.
And then, creatively, how are you sustaining yourself? You know, like I know you record a lot of your own music. You did that last record with your partner, Rissa. What else are you creatively?
What am I working on?
Yeah, what do you?
Oh, well, I've spent the last year writing songs. And now I'm just in the process of recording it, and I'll have planning on having an album out in the spring, like late spring, early summer.
And recording it, like engineering it all at home? At your guys' place with
that's the goal.
Cabin setup.
So
Nice.
and I'll just I'll be working remotely with a few different people.
Right.
I'm gonna get someone else to mix it this time.
Yeah.
Because it just it's nice to have fresh ears, exactly. And I'll have
And
a
if you
few
don't like it, you can always change it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's nice I'll be working with a couple different drummers for the project. So just to keep things interesting. Because, I mean, I can drum, but it's nice. There's people out there who can drum much better than I can. So
Well, and it brings like a different energy, kind of like sending it out to get mixed by someone else. It's like just to...
the drums are like such a driving force in a song.
Yeah.
It changes the whole... Whoever's drumming will change the whole vibe of the song. So it's cool to work with different people for every song has its own vibe, right? So,
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about like the technical aspect of it? We haven't talked to anybody who's
actually
very technical, like with the
engineering.
mixing and producing of your own songs and stuff like that. Were you self-taught? Is that something you just picked up on your own?
It's something I've been learning on my own for the last 10 years, longer than that. I was in a band, City Light Vigil, I don't know, 12 years ago or something, and we recorded an album at a studio. And it was a really fun experience and everything, and I learned a lot, but it was so expensive, and I was like, I bet I could learn how to do this on my own so I don't have to spend $20,000. And it took me 12 years to get to where I am now, but
But I think if it's
finally
something
do
you're kind of interested anyways, like I would rather throw myself in front of a bus than engineer a record. Like looking at sound waves on a computer, I just like even doing live sound. You've seen me with the iPad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like sliding it around, like, and I'm listening. I don't know why it sounds better or worse, but like, I think if you're into it and it makes sense to you.
Well, I like it. It's like you just fall in love with the process, and it's like all the recording and like editing and everything. It's very monotonous, but it's kind of therapeutic in a way.
Yeah.
You know, just
And what
spending
about,
hours
like,
editing things? Yeah.
Engineering, producing stuff yourself versus other people. I feel like I wouldn't be able to do my own stuff because it would be polishing a turd at some point. It would be like
It's tough.
perfectionist.
I mean, I was definitely a perfectionist for a long time, and it prevented me from.
finishing anything.
There's like so many songs that I didn't release because I was like, oh, it's just not,
Yeah.
the mix isn't perfect, whatever. But I've learned to sort of embrace like things being good enough,
Yeah.
and it's.
And
Really
I think there's something. I really like it when people like when you get the compliment after a live show, if they've heard your record and they say you sound better live. I'm like, oh, so I'm more perfect in real life than hours and hours of micromanage, like maybe the organic thing is actually better. And then I try and keep that in mind in the studio when I'm like, take 75 on this vocal track. Like,
Yeah,
and like there's got to be that balance. I know lots of musicians
there's a balance for sure.
like spend too much time in the studio, not enough live, and they get a little too like, yeah.
Well, you can really get into the rabbit hole, and I definitely have with like over editing everything to the point where it sounds like
AI
a computer.
might as well have done it.
Yeah, exactly.
And now
so,
you gotta
like,
leave some mistakes in there. You gotta leave some breathing.
mistakes are good, right?
Yeah.
You gotta keep that in there. So
Yeah.
it's a fine balance. Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine with your own mixing and engineering your own voice and your own playing, like,
It's a lot.
when do you stop? How do you know where's the line?
You never really know. And it's like, there's a lot of moments of self-doubt and like, you just...
You gotta throw out some fresh ears.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
So-
this garbage? Or should well, and it does feel like mixing your own song, even just like in the process of mixing a record, when you have to listen to your own song so many times, even if you're not the one mixing it, just giving notes, and like by the time you release it, you're so sick of it. It's like I can't imagine.
You've heard every song 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And you don't know if it's...
And then you're gonna release it and pump it up on your socials, like, oh, so over it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of merch do you have going on?
Well, currently I have this merch right here. This is inspired by
Little
one of my
desert.
favorite songs I've made. But I'll be working on some more merch in the coming months for the new album.
Yeah, I think probably when this comes out, we'll be closer to a new album than.
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah, when
much
this
closer
is
to new
released.
album
Yeah.
when this is out.
Where do people find you on the internet, socials? Where are you doing
Instagram,
stuff?
Facebook, TikTok sometimes.
TikTok, he
YouTube.
says with a
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
you gotta do it.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah.
So when you've been like touring around and stuff, have you stumbled across a place that was surprising in either a good way or a bad way? Venue or a town?
Smithers.
Smithers. Nice.
Good or
Really-
bad? No.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
really, I loved it there. It was such a nice, like, it reminds me of the Kootenays a lot.
Yeah.
Actually.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I would agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
You can
Really
like
nice
almost
town.
smell the ocean, but
Yeah.
it is
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
ski bum mountain
It's definitely.
ferny feeling.
Yeah, and like you got all the mountain bikers there and everything. And
And did you end up there playing music?
yeah, we
Yeah.
played at the, what is it called? One of the breweries there.
Smithers Brewing.
Not
let's call
Smithers Brewing, but the other one.
The other one. Uh-oh.
It's probably named after a mountain.
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank right now, but
Cut this out, Jen.
yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
It'll come back to me.
And
like,
you were just pleasantly surprised
later.
by like Smithers being a northern.
just a
whatever.
nice little. I don't know. It didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
northern vibe to it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I've
Yeah.
been to Smithers just a couple times, just passing through, and every time I stop in there, I'm like, I could live here, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's
Totally.
because you're in Prince George and
And
you're
it's-
like,
yeah.
and then you're like, okay, Fort St. John's up and then out. But I think the closer you get to the ocean, it's like,
Yeah.
it's going to be nice.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
the ocean's sort of
Yeah.
close to there. and
Close-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of vibe to it. Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Any venues or festivals that are on your bucket list to play?
Mm.
I would like to play Edge of the World again in
Haida
Haida
Gwaii.
We played there a few years ago, and
That's a great
it was
festival.
like it was probably my favorite festival I've been
Yeah.
to. It was just so much fun,
Yeah.
and
the food. The hospitality food.
yeah, great
Some of the
food,
best food.
and it's a dry festival, but I'm pretty sure everyone there was high on acid, and
They're like, no
it was just
alcohol.
fun.
Yeah.
They're like, we're dry. We're not sober.
Yeah. So that was kind of
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Cool.
having a good time, and
Did you guys drive over? Did you take your
yeah, we
vehicle?
drove. Yeah, and
On the
took the
ferry.
ferry over
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
which was so much fun. I love the ferry ride.
Yeah, it's a long ferry.
And you had a good one? It wasn't when we went. It was...
It was. Oh, it was smooth sailing. On the way back, we were on the ferry, just about to go, and then they couldn't get the engine started, so we just waited in port for like 5 hours before going.
and it's like an 8-hour.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that just adds on, right? Like,
But it was part
Yeah.
of the experience.
Yeah.
So
nice.
they sold beer on there. So
Perfect.
Yeah. And you'd been dry all weekend.
yeah,
Yeah.
Make up for lost time.
exactly.
I know when we took that ferry over, it was like everybody was warning us, like, it's 8 hours. If it's bad, it's gonna be really bad. Like, and it was pretty windy and like it was not looking like it was gonna be great. So when we got on, I was like, okay, I have my little like pressure point bands on, and then I took like the gravel and the Ativan and the blah blah blah, and then I like went and found somewhere to sleep, and I like laid down, and then I woke up like 2 hours later. I looked at my phone. I was like, okay, it's been 2 hours. I like opened my eyes and I was like, oh, it feels like very calm. And I sat up and we hadn't moved. Because there was-
Perfect. Oh, yeah.
there was
So
some
calm
mechanical thing. So I wasted all of my drugs and knocking myself out
for nothing.
for nothing.
That's-
And then when we got out there, it was...
When I went across
That's part of the experience.
Yeah, it is. It is. When we went across 2018, I want to say, it wasn't for music, it was just for a family trip, but the way over was fine. It was daytime, but on the way back, we took the night ferry and rented like a bunkhouse.
Mm.
And you would think it would be okay. Like there's a shower, bunk beds, you can sleep.
Yeah.
But I kept waking up and like feeling the rocking and thinking like,
'Cause you're
it's going
under
down.
Too.
I'm like, it's going down. Like I'm done.
Well, and I
Done.
think it's probably like when we took the train across Canada at nighttime, they'll go faster
Yeah.
because it's dark and there's nothing to see on the train. And I bet the boat is probably similar where they're like...
Yeah. Exactly.
I remember,
Terrifying. Terrifying.
walking and like, blah, 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 like, and I was like, oh my God. And I went to get more gravel from the like gift shop or whatever. And I asked the girl that worked there, I was like, so like on a scale of 1 to 10, this is like 8 or like 9, like this is pretty bad. She's like, oh, this is like a 5. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, this is beginner
I was like,
state.
oh, now we're going over and we have to come back.
Yeah,
Anyways.
you're like, great. So, okay, side quest, which Jesse can cut out, but like 12 years ago, I went to Ireland with my mom and Marley, and we took we were in England first. We took the ferry from Wales to Dublin, and it was like rough, so rough. Like tipping side to side when you were walking.
And big ferry,
seasick,
like
big
Oh, that
ferry.
sounds like fun.
So horrible. And I remember that the captain came on with like his cute Irish accent and he told us how like it's a little bit rough, but we'll be okay kind of thing. And then we're like a few weeks later coming back and he says like the exact same thing. It was totally calm. I'm like, what? Like what? Like
recording.
last time? Yeah, like last time he said this, we were not okay. I mean, we survived, obviously, but
He's
yeah,
like, glug, glug, it'll be fine.
yeah, we're fine. Like, it's kind of terrifying. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, back to business.
All right. All right.
Have you written any songs inspired by your small town or any songs from the Sticks? You got any songs from Sticks?
Songs from the Sticks. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Taylor hasn't inspired.
I don't
anything?
write
No?
like songs like inspired by like an area or something. I just follow the music and see what comes out at the other side.
Can you hear any influence, like songs you wrote in any particular place? Like, do you think it's different? Songs written in Taylor versus songs written in Shetland versus...
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah?
But it was also different times in my life too,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
but
Not just the landscape.
not just the landscape. But since living in Taylor, I've definitely been writing more rock music.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it used to be more singer-songwritery, acoustic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor's more rock and roll.
It is more rock and roll.
Okay.
What? What?
What?
Someone wrote a gravel?
Gravel pit.
Gravel pit.
Gravel pit.
Tell me about the gravel pit. My God, Mom, leave us alone.
Frick.
Oh, rock and roll. I
Rock
get it.
and roll, yeah.
Rock.
Because of the gravel pit, yeah.
Leave it in, Jesse. Leave it in. Okay, we're back on.
Hey, so you're gonna play a song for us today, and what is that song? And should we know anything about it?
It is called The In Between, and it'll be on my new album coming out in soon.
2026.
Probably soon from when this comes out, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, 2026.
So it is kind of recorded and it will be out.
It is recorded, and this is the slow, sad acoustic version. But
Yeah.
it will be,
You're going to sing quieter than I've ever heard.
yeah. It's good to switch things up.
Not to give anything
sometimes.
away.
Yeah, no, of course.
This guy can really belt.
Yeah, it's the only song that is sort of an acoustic key sort of song.
Who's the only
on the
one
album.
that you could
Yes.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
do? Everything else rocks too hard.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. I get it. Feels like a threat. Cool. Thanks,
Well,
Matt.
thank you for being
Thanks
on
for having
here.
me.
Yeah,
We did it.
we did
We did it.
it.
Another one bites the dust.
Lovely.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to choke the life out of this thing.
Yeah, geez. Take it easy, eh?
It's just like so serious. I'm just so serious about it. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Sentimental feelings, given a reason to heal all the demons, and I won't fight it. Take a look at the pieces, fractured and dreamless. It seems all between us, and I won't fight it. I don't wanna start over again. Is it a calling, only a dream, trying to find me in between, when all of the longing trying to find me in between. Won't you wait for me somewhere in our dreams? Won't you wait for me out in between? Is it a calling, only a dream, trying to find me in between, when all of the longing is tearing the seams, trying to find me in between, when all of the longing, oh, all of the longing, trying to find me in between.
We would like to thank our listeners and viewers for tuning in, TELUS StoryHive for funding this project and making it possible, our behind-the-scenes team, including Jesse McCollum on video editing, animating, and visuals, Matt Stanyer for song mixing, and Larissa Scriven for logo art and design. Additional thanks go to Oho Storyworks and Bruised Orange Productions. We are grateful always to be working, living, and creating in Treaty 8 territory on the traditional lands of the Daneza.